You've been told to be confident, but no one has ever taught you how. So instead, you perform, overthink, compare, and still wonder if you're enough. You wonder if people like you. Confidence is not just how you look, it is how you see yourself. And self esteem, that's how much you trust yourself and who you are when no one's watching. Most women were taught to seek approval, not seek or create inner safety. So we chase perfection, we overthink our worth, and call it confidence. It's not. Confidence doesn't come after the glow up, it creates the glow up. I'm not going to bore you with an intro. We're going to get right into the video, to the root of it all: confidence and self esteem. How to actually build confidence and self esteem, even if this is something that you've struggled with. If you've ever struggled with comparison, imposter syndrome, self doubt, or just feeling like you're not enough to be that girl, this is your reminder that she's already inside you. The best version of yourself is already inside you. You're going to build real confidence and real self esteem. I want to help you become the most magnetic, confident, and best version of yourself. Here's the science behind confidence in simple terms. Confidence equals self-trust plus action plus evidence. True confidence comes from action, not thought. And your brain is going to learn by repetition. When you do something scary, you do something hard, and you survive it, you make it through, you make it to the other side, you build confidence. You build confidence because your nervous system stores that as proof or evidence that you can handle this, you can do hard things, you can do scary things. And each time you follow through, your brain releases dopamine, which is a reward chemical that enforces the habit. Doing something gives you experience, competence. That experience gives you confidence, and confidence ultimately leads to more and more action once you trust yourself to do it. Then the cycle continues, the confidence competence loop. So psychologically, that means that you don't wait to have confidence. You don't wait to start to get confidence. You start, and that gives you confidence. Start to become confident. Your brain believes what you repeatedly do. If you're avoiding things, you are reaffirming that belief that you can't handle it, you can't do it. If you take small risks and show up for yourself, you're telling yourself, I'm capable. And that's how confidence is built, through micro proofs, through small wins. Self-esteem is always going to be shaped by the way that you talk to yourself. And yes, your inner voice is a reflection of past experiences, but it can be rewired. You know, I love affirmations. Affirmations are a huge part of it, but not all of it. Your brain needs repetition and safety to reprogram your core beliefs. 10 ways to start being more confident. There are a lot of ways to start being more confident, but I really want to focus on these 10 first. And in the next video, there's one in particular that stands out to me the most that I'm going to talk about. I want you to keep one small promise to yourself every day. This can be your workout routine. This can be eating your breakfast before your coffee. This can be walking your dog every morning, drinking your water, actually sticking to a skincare routine. Start showing yourself that your word matters, and you're going to start trusting yourself because you're making promises to yourself and you're keeping those little promises to yourself. You build self-trust and self-esteem, one action, one small promise to yourself that you're going to keep every time. And I also want you to celebrate those small promises, those small wins, even if no one sees them. It could be something that no one knows about, but you know about, and I want you to celebrate that with yourself. Get real about your identity. Get real about who you are. If you keep telling yourself, I can never do anything right, I'm shy, I'm not that girl, you're not going to be that girl. You're going to be shy, and you're not going to do anything right. You're speaking it into existence. And scientifically or psychologically, your brain is going to keep proving it to you. I have a whole video on doing a rebrand. I really could dive deeper into that. But once you get crystal clear on who you are, your identity, you upgrade your self-image, that's how you build true confidence. Confidence follows identity. This is probably my favorite one. I know you hear it so much, but act like the person that you want to become. And that's not fake it until you make it, but act like the person that you want to become. Move like the person that you want to become. Think like the person that you want to become. Speak like the person that you want to become. Dress like the person that you want to become. Really embody your identity. And if you're unclear on who that is, what that is, rewrite your story. Take messy action before you're ready. And the universe always conspires in your favor when you make bold moves and when you take messy and especially inspired action. And we know confidence is built through doing, so take messy action. Do it scared, do it afraid that you're going to fail, do it afraid that you're going to be cringe. Stop waiting to be perfect, post the video, post your content, speak up, and show up as you are, show up as who you are. Rewrite your inner dialogue. And I have a whole video on deciding to do a rebrand and a rebrand. I can really dive deeper into that topic. Your inner dialogue is very important for confidence and self-esteem. Start catching your negative self-talk and replace it with something more positive. And I want you to think, would I speak this way to my best friend? If you wouldn't speak to your mother like that, if you wouldn't speak to your best friend like that, if you wouldn't speak to your husband like that, don't speak like that to yourself. Stop seeking external validation. I know this one's hard. Do not worry about who likes you. Do you like you? It takes some effort and it takes some time to be fully free and not care about what people think about you. But like a muscle, you have to train your brain to believe that. And you'll get stronger and you'll get better at not caring what others think. You really should just worry about if you like you. Trust yourself, live for yourself, and do for yourself. Stop performing and start being. I know this sounds crazy, but I want you to own who you are. Authentically, unapologetically, unless you're a terrible person, but this video is not for you. You don't need to be the loudest in the room. You don't need to be the prettiest in the room to be the most confident, or the most magnetic. You just need to be real, authentic. People feel and love that energy. Your energy really does introduce you before you even speak. And people feel energy more than they feel perfection. Get out of the comparison trap. Confidence is so hard to build when you're constantly comparing yourself to others. And I know it's hard. Mute, unfollow, unfriend, block anything or anyone that makes you feel small, or that makes you question your worth, or that makes you feel like you're not enough, or that you're too much. And I don't just mean on social media, because this can be done in real life too. Stop calling it low confidence, stop calling it low self-esteem when it's actually a lack of self-trust. It's actually a lack of integrity of self. Be real with yourself. If you're constantly not keeping small promises to yourself, you're abandoning yourself, ignoring your own goals, betraying your own standards, your brain won't trust you. Confidence is always going to be a consequence of alignment. Self-esteem is always going to be a consequence of alignment. Who are you when no one's watching? How do you treat yourself? How do you move? What do you wear when no one's watching? Do you keep promises to yourself? You have a whole morning routine that you want to do that you've set up for yourself. Are you doing it when no one's watching, when you're not posting about it? Do hard things. Things that challenge you. Do things that are uncomfy, things that are uncomfortable, because those are the things that are going to make you grow and also build your confidence and your self-esteem. It's okay to be new at something. It's okay to mess up. It's okay to be scared to do something. Do it anyways. And confidence is never in the absence of failure, but it's the resilience to try again. Let go of perfection, let go of your fear of being cringe, let go of your overthinking. That fear of looking dumb that's keeping you stuck in this loop of not being confident, not having high self-esteem, and caring what others think. Now I want to get into some of my own questions to really dive deep and share with you guys how I've built my confidence and my self-esteem. So I wrote down some questions and I'm just going to rapid fire answer them live. This is a very uncomfy question. When did I feel the most insecure and why? But before I get into that, I want to share something. When I was planning out this video, I was on FaceTime with my best friend. I asked her, do I need to share like my own personal experience with building confidence and self-esteem? And why would someone care? I'm a new YouTuber. I'm new to that community. Do people on the internet care? Like, I'm a newer content creator, and do people care? So that right there was me with a limiting belief, with negative self-talk, and she said, yes, people care. People care. That's the whole reason why you're creating this video. That's the whole reason why you created this channel and why you want to create a community of like-minded girls. And you want to help other girls who don't feel like that girl or don't feel like they are that girl, become that girl. But it's very ironic that in the middle of a video that I'm planning for confidence and self-esteem that something like that came up. So, first question, when did I feel the most insecure and why? As I was growing up, middle school, high school, kind of like that, just like awkward phase, because I definitely had a glow up. If you've known me for years, you've known I have had a glow up or two. And I didn't feel confident. I wasn't necessarily like happy with the way that I dressed, most importantly, but the way that I looked. And it was just an awkward time for all of us. And I went through some phases that the pictures are buried, gone, no one can see. I was probably comparing myself to others and comparing myself to things that I saw on TV that I had no business comparing myself to. And other times that I felt insecure have definitely been when I was new at something or starting something for the first time. I'm always going to jump in, I'm always going to take messy action, I'm going to do it, but I do feel very uneasy when I am new. But I tell myself, you haven't been here before. This is your first day in this life or your first day doing this. And it's totally normal for you to not have it figured out. It's totally normal for you to not be good at it. What triggered the shift into me being confident? The glow up that I had, obviously. What triggered my shift towards becoming more confident and having high self-esteem was definitely working out, dressing in a way that made me feel good, and positive affirmations, and not having limiting beliefs, not placing limiting beliefs on myself. I got real with myself and who I was and who I wanted to be, and I started making changes. And then I became confident. I liked the changes. I made more changes, and it all just kind of snowballed from there. What habits made me feel like a confident woman? Taking pride in my appearance. Yes, I do this for my man, but mainly it's for me. Taking pride in dressing better than I feel and showing up for myself as far as rebranding myself, changing my wardrobe, dressing better than I feel, doing my skincare routine. And when I make small promises to myself, I keep them. When I started working out years ago and getting stronger and liking the way that it made me feel and the way that it made me look, that also helped me to build confidence. When I would catch myself with a limiting belief or negative self-talk and reframe it into something positive, whenever I would say my affirmations every morning, like I still do, I started to build confidence and I started to build real self-esteem. As someone who used to really care what people thought or really want to people please certain people, not everyone. I don't think I was a people pleaser to everyone. I think I was just a people pleaser with certain people. Once you learn how to say no and have boundaries and speak up for yourself or say no as a complete sentence without any explanation, no need to explain yourself or, God forbid, over explain yourself, just no. It builds so much confidence and so much self-esteem and so much self-trust. And that is the moment that I stopped caring what people thought about me. I stopped caring about their opinions. I stopped caring about societal pressures and just wanted to live for me and do things according to what makes me feel good. And my kind of life mantra, if you will, is I want my life to feel as good as it looks. So as good as it looks to others, not just on social media, but I want my life to feel as good as it looks. And I'm the writer of my story. I'm in full control of how good my life really feels. And I don't have to care what people think. I don't have to care what their opinions of what my life is. I'm going to be happy regardless of what that looks like to others. And I've always said this to myself for probably the past decade, and it's just really stuck with me. How did I learn to take up space? I'm a Taurus. Sometimes we can be a little stubborn, and I've always been the child of my mother's that would just say things. It's not that I would say inappropriate things, but I would say things that maybe I shouldn't say, like secrets out loud. But I was a kid and I didn't know any better. Me not caring what others think, me doing what I want to do and making sure that my life feels as good as it looks and that I'm happy regardless of what that looks like to others, that could answer how I learned to take up space. And you have to keep working at it. Sometimes there are moments where I second guess myself, or I do care about someone's opinion, or I do care about maybe like their opinion before I do something, like just, asking other people. At some point you have to trust yourself and believe that you can figure it out on your own and that you don't need that validation or you don't need other people's opinions. And I've always said I don't get embarrassed. Like I know what the feeling, like I'll say like, oh, that's embarrassing, or oh, that must have been embarrassing, or ooh, I'm embarrassed for you. but I don't really get embarrassed. I don't. I I mess up. I fail. I'm ADHD. I'm type B. I've tried to do different things. Not all of those things have worked out. I can laugh at myself. I don't care if others are laughing with me. Sure, if I'm laughing, go ahead and laugh. Even if I'm not laughing, I don't care. I could say something stupid. Geography is not my strong suit. Direction, not my strong suit. And I'm just going to laugh about it because I'm not going to get embarrassed. I'm going to own who I am and own the qualities that make me authentically me and that make me unique. When did I realize I liked myself? After positive affirmations, reframing and rewiring my brain, and giving myself permission really to rebrand and to be authentic and to be myself, and then to keep strengthening that muscle and training that muscle of not caring what others think. All of that and the rebrand that I did with myself really made me like myself and really helped me to be more confident, and it really made me love myself. I do want to get into some reminders before we close out this video. If you keep ghosting yourself, your confidence will too. You can't build self-trust, you can't build confidence, you can't build self-esteem without self-trust plus action plus evidence. Confidence is not about being fearless. It's about feeling that uncomfy feeling and doing it anyways. It's about being willing to be seen anyways. If your voice shakes, if no one claps, if no one roots for you, show up anyways. You're not unconfident, you're just out of alignment with who you say you are. The more distance between your actions and your values, the more insecure you're going to feel. You don't need more affirmations, you need more evidence. Brain believes what you do, not the affirmations that you recite once a week. You should be doing them every day. You're not chasing confidence, you're chasing the feeling of being safe with yourself. That's nervous system regulation, that's alignment. People pleasing is self-abandonment in a prettier outfit. You're not being kind, you're choosing approval over authenticity. Your confidence won't grow in environments where you're constantly shrinking. Choose your circle wisely, like your life depends on it, like your confidence depends on it, because it does. Perfection is protection, and protection is fear in disguise. Do it messy, let it flop, fail, say something wrong, look stupid, be cringe, do it anyways. That's where confidence is built. If you want to feel worthy, if you want to feel good enough, act like someone who is. You're that girl, and you just need to remember that. And not because the world told you, but because you decided to believe it first. True confidence isn't loud. It's the quiet, no longer needing to prove yourself to anyone. You don't become confident by being perfect. You become confident by being authentic. Confidence is about remembering who you are before self-doubt, before other people's opinions, and the world made you question it. And as always, see you in the next video.